Well, finally I've got number 2 neck really fitting well now. Oh, that took a long time. I'm not sure what time it is now, but I've been on these all day. Oh well, you know, up until now. This neck seems to, for some reason, sit very slightly twisted that way, but I can't sort out why in the joint, but even just with a bit of finger pressure it straightens up and goes in, so I'm happy with that. I'm not doing any more to it. So I'll number this neck up now, and thank goodness that's done, because that's taken a long time, but they're right, and that's good. So phew, a lot of work there, so on to something else. Alright, hello there. Continuing, you know, we've now sort of, I'm happy with both neck joints on the guitars. So what I want to do now is actually get on to shaping the necks. There's a lot of ways you can do this. You know, you can just use a spoke shave. You can make templates, you know, like cross-sectional templates, and work to that. Yeah, there's a lot of ways of doing it. I'm basically going on a 59 Les Paul neck profile on these, and I don't know if you remember, but we cut the neck to thickness, all but for a millimetre sort of thing. So that would be the first thing you'd have to do. I mean, I did this with a router, with my overhead router, and went across when the neck, before the fretboard was glued on. But if you hadn't done that, now is the time to decide your thickness at the 2nd fret and 11th, or 1st and 12th or something. The 1st fret's probably a bit too close to the transition, so go from 2nd to 11th, decide, you know, the thickness you want in the centre of the neck at that point, and you just would have to file that, you know, the scrap wood off till you come down to a nice thickness. It's just a bit of a ball ache sort of thing doing it that way, and that's why I did it with a router a lot quicker. So the way I do it, and I've actually said it before, so I'm not going to waste any time, but I kind of start off by bisecting, drawing a line down the centre of the neck. Alright, so we've got a centre line down our neck now. Now what I do is I basically bisect the distance in half again and draw another line, and you can kind of do it with your by eye. It's not, you can measure it of course if you want, but so now you've got lines that are halfway, quarter of the way. You've divided the neck into 4 basically. Now on the side of the neck, again, draw a line halfway down the thickness of the neck, and again, you know, you can do this just with your fingers. Now what I want to do is, where you've got these areas on the edge there, cut this away to that line there, so you're basically chamfering the edge of the neck. That's your first stage. Now don't go nuts at the transition points. I mean, here we'll be looking at doing something, you know, a finished result like that, and here, you know, we want this to sort of slope in, so just get the bulk of it away in the, you know, the parallel part of the neck, if you like. Now you can do this, I've seen some people cut this away on a bandsaw. I find that a bit too awkward. sort of thing. You can, the most common way is using the famous Japanese rasp, but I find, especially for doing the first one, you're taking quite a lot of wood off. It's quite gutty work. So I'll show you how I do it, and it looks a bit dangerous, but it's quite controllable actually. I've got this cheese grater thing here, and I basically just use that, and it's very controllable. And you can see how I've started doing that on there now, and you know, it's quite accurate and controllable. It doesn't look as though it would be, but I find it fine. We're getting quite close to it now, and you know, if you feel that you're not like in ultimate control of it, you know, you can certainly finish that off now with a rasp. But to be honest, I really like that way of doing it. I don't find it hard work. Like, it's nice and controllable, and it's not frustrating because you're not working up a sweat sort of thing. So I'll carry on doing that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we've done the first chamfers now, which is removing the most wood you'll have to, sort of thing. But now what I've done is this new edge here, or this new face here, I've bisected that again in half, and bisected that again in half. So now we'll cut that waste wood off there. Now, one of the, you know, doing it this way, you're quite guaranteeing a symmetrical neck sort of thing. In addition as well, you're unlikely to get any like digs in it, and you know, like bits that are low or things like that, because you just work into these lines all the time. So we'll get those edges cut off and do that. Right, hi there. So we've basically been hacking off the corners on this neck kind of thing. I'm kind of, you know, so used to doing it that you know, once I've done the first couple of line drawings and cuts and things like that, I'm not really bothered about, you know, drawing more lines on and cut into them and cut into them. So, but you can carry on doing that, and you'll end up with a circular curve, you know. But now we're at the sort of stage where I'm going to do it by hand. You know, I've got to get the neck down to thickness. You can see how much wider it is than the fretboard. So I'll be getting that right. And anyway, just carrying on by hand now with the rasp. Okay, so I've been doing this neck now for about, not very, you know, half an hour. The one advantage with this Carina mahogany, it's so much softer than maple. It is actually a lot easier to do. So right, first thing I did was get the actual bulk of the neck shaft down to a reasonable curve and fit kind of thing, and then you have to start working in the transition areas. Now you can see I've, you know, got quite a long way on getting the transition from the headstock to the neck shaft. I mean, there's too much bulk there still, but it's going quite well, and you've just got to be very careful that you don't concentrate on one area too much and over carve it, and then you've got to compensate with the rest of the neck. As you can see now that I've started doing the body end, but I'm way high on it. But what I want to do now is, you know, do the rest by hand and just project this you know, curve of the neck up to here, and here's the end of the 3/8 lip on the body. So it's just a case of really doing a bit at a time and getting the thing, you know, in the ballpark, and then working to clean it up more and more. So we'll carry on. Well, I thought I'd bring you back. We're getting on now with shaping this neck. It's still quite a chunk in the hand, but at least I want to get it down to you know, a neck profile that is nice to the touch, and then we can thin it down to how much we want it. But if we look here now, I've started shaping this area quite in reasonable detail, but there's still lumps and bumps in it. So there's a bump here, and it's okay that side, but you know, you've just got to keep rolling the neck round and looking at it and think, oh, that's a bit bulky. But just don't be tempted, you know, to I mean, over the other side of the workshop I've got like a belt linisher, and it's so tempting just to whack it on there and try and do it. And I will use it, but very, very lightly, because you can just have one, you know, one of the belt bit of the belt on the linisher that goes around the bend. You can squash it in and take a divot out of the neck, not a divot, but a shallow in the neck, which is awful. So my tools of choice are these. I've got one of those cheese grater kind of round files to do around the, you know, sort of around the transition areas. This is always really good, and you can use this along the length of the neck. And I've also got these small files, which are they Japanese chemically sharpened files, and they don't look much, but they really are good for, you know, detailed work around here, and they do take a lot off. Just see in that short little while, so be really careful when you're doing this, that you don't, you know, it'd be a real shame to mess up a neck at this stage. So keep it, you know, like keep it nice and detailed, and just look over the whole thing, kind of think, yeah, okay, I'll take that little bit off, and, you know, just work with the whole neck, and you know, hopefully get it down. I mean, when I'm looking at that now, it just doesn't look like a nice curve there, so, you know, that's a bit I've got to do, but yeah, sneak up on it and it should be okay. Well, hi there, we're back with this neck now, and I think you can see that things are seriously looking to come to you know, coming to a good conclusion here, sort of thing. And obviously it still needs a lot of sanding, but, you know, it's the shape that's important, and there's no substitute for, like, you know, your best instruments for judging it is your hands, sort of thing, and feeling where there's any square edges or stuff that's just not you know, lumpy, or what, stuff that's lumpy or whatever. But I've brought this curve here to the edge of the body, kind of thing, where that lip is on the bottom of the body, so that the lip and the body has got to be, you know, curved as well. But looking at the thickness at the 11th fret, it's 24.5, which is the same as a 59 Les Paul, or 24.68, so there's a bit there. And at the 2nd fret we're down at 23, which is probably about 0.5 millimetre too much. So, you know, I mean, we're talking small amounts here, but I'm going to continue to just finish it and fettle it, sort of thing, and see where we get, and yeah, we'll go from there. But at least now, you know, we've actually got a guitar neck and not a square chunk of wood, so that's good. Well, just a little update on this neck. I've been just sanding and feeling it and whatever, and I think we're pretty damn close now. You know, there's no lumps or bumps in it or anything like that, and this transition here to the end now matches more or less with the body, but of course when the neck's glued on I'll have to finish it off with the body. Yeah, up here, I mean, I've looked at pictures of the back of 58V necks. There's a good one of the transition, and tends to have this, like, you know, quite, you know, the shoulders of the headstock are typically like rounded off, and then they sort of come into the neck, but they don't touch one another, so to speak, don't come to a point or anything. So I've got a little bit more sanding to do there to finalize that, but that's a really nice curve on the back there now, as is the other transition. So I think we're pretty good, but I'm just going to carry on, and you know, obviously this bit is, I've got another neck to do, but there we go. Well, hi, and welcome back to 3R Guitars, and we're working again on these 58 Flying V's. And one of the things that's been really worrying me is there's a channel that's drilled through from the front pickup cavity, or through the neck cavity to the front pickup cavity, and it goes all the way through these, you know, to the jack socket here. Now the thing is, there are a lot of pictures on the internet, and there's one that's termed, you know, a 1957 prototype, which is obviously a bit, you know, it's not exactly as the regular production run was. You can see it's got an extended control cavity where an extra chunk has been drilled out, you know, obviously where they placed the knobs in a different place, and you can see that, okay, they've drilled a hole through there, but when they drill in from here to here, you can see that, you know, the drill hole is a lot higher here, and they probably put a drill in, you know, across here, and drilled a downward slope into the cavity, into the jack plug cavity. Now if you look at what I'm pretty sure is an original 58 on the internet, you can see that they've actually drilled right through in one go with one drill, because the depth of the drill hole, I've got a picture of one in there that's quite deep. Also the giveaway of how deep the cavity is actually on a view of the neck pickup route, and you can see the drill hole, the wire channel, starts halfway below the base here of the pickup cavity, so you can see like a gutter cut out, so the drill hole is halfway down. You can see that plainly, because when the neck is in place, the neck tongue, you can see that that's cut halfway down, and then the hole here is also deeper, so they've obviously drilled it in one go. Now that's all well and good, but I don't think I can even get this darn drill in the picture. Like, this is the drill I've got to do it. I've just bought this drill, not expensive, but you know, I am really worried about this thing wandering as it goes through the, you know, you suddenly find it pop out the back of the body or pop out the top of the body, and you'd be just like in tears. So what I've done is, firstly, I've glued a scrap bit of wood in here, a little wedge, so when the drill goes in, you're not trying to get it in on an angled bit of wood, which you'd never do. So start drilling there, and then, you know, at least you get a hole by the time, a complete hole by the time you get to the guitar wood. And then what I've also done is I've cut this kind of guide, and I'm going to clamp this over the root of the wire channel, and then, you know, I've got this bottom edge here where I can actually run the drill against, so hopefully I know I'm getting it parallel, and I know I'm getting it in, you know, in the correct line, because I've got a good line to work round. I mean, you don't want to start drilling it like that, because you'll be getting uphill, or the other way you'll be getting downhill, so hopefully that will keep me in line. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically put this over on here, line it up best I can, and clamp it here with this. So, you know, I've got a guide now. I wish I had a better clamp that reached. I'll re-clamp that with something better. Then I can start drilling from here, kind of supporting the drill, making sure the drill is flat on the bottom of the guide, and then just start drilling, and I've got a good eye line right through. The one thing that is slightly confusing is that the channel, I haven't got a picture of the hole in here, you know, the wire channel hole in here, and when I put the drill on here, it seems, I'm not sure quite how it works, because from the pictures it looks as though the drill hole is quite near the sort of centre of that cavity, but then you know, you'd be struggling. It's really difficult, but I think it probably exits in here slightly higher up the hole, so you know, because you've got this shoulder here on the pickup, on the neck pocket, you can't obviously, you know, go further than that. So you're kind of, yeah, it should be all right, but yeah, it's so difficult to see on the pictures, so I'm just going to see how it goes. So I'll get you back when I'm ready to start. Well, okay, first attempt wasn't successful. Remember the little angled block that I'd glued in? That I used a bit of plywood for that, and once I started drilling into it, the plywood just split. So I've put a little block of proper wood in there, kind of thing. And I'm starting off with a shorter drill of the same diameter, and it actually seems to be going quite nicely. I'm just like doing a little bit and then pulling the drill out, so then like just clearing the hole and carrying on, but I'm holding the drill underneath here tight against the guide, so hopefully it's not wandering vertically. I'd actually like to get the first hole done with this shorter drill, so I'm just going to try and encourage it just to, it should come out just, yeah, we see it coming out and drilling a hole in the damn bench or something underneath. Just through. Oh, that is looking good. Okay then, I don't know if you can see, but we've done the first hole now, so you can get the longer drill in, and I'm just going to take you in there now, and I'm so pleased with this. I mean, you are seeing it live. This is not a second attempt or third attempt, but not sure. Let me change the picture round. I'll have to stop the video. Right, quickly back so you can see how the drill is following the bottom of the... I was actually, as I was drilling, I was holding the drill up. Luckily with the shorter drill, my fingers were on the smooth part and certainly not on the drill. Now as it's drilled through, you can see here we've come through the first panel, first thing, and we're just touching the bottom there, so it has drilled very accurately. So I'm really pleased, quite relieved with that. I just imagined it would be the sort of job that would be an absolute horrible one to do, or it would go all right, and we seem to be all right. So now I'll get the get this long drill connected up, and then we'll carry on drilling through to the jack plug socket. So there we go, looking good. Okay, you can see the long drill now is actually doing quite well here. So yep, let's just carry on and drill through into the back. It just seems so ridiculous to me though. I think I need a new battery. Right. I need my replacement battery, so I'll switch you off and get back. Okay, back with the new battery. Bloody thing off now. Yeah, don't know if I like that. I think I'm going slightly downhill with that, but I'm just going to check it with a few things and I'll get back to you. Right, okay, well I'm not too unhappy with that at all. So here's the hole, well, it's come out in here, which looks fine. We've got this little trench in here, which is as the pictures were. So we go through through there. You know, not bad. And then into the so I think we've managed that, and I really like it here. Let's chip out that where are we, this extra block I put in. Glued that in well. And that is kind of exactly what it looks like in the pictures on the internet of a 58 cavity, where you get that little trough there at the start. So yeah, I kind of suspected it would either go that good or it would be terrible. So I don't think I can do any better than that. So that's really good. Let's get on and do the next one now. Well, I've got my stuff here. Good. Body number 2. Anyway, I'll switch you off, and here's the second one here. So I'm just going to glue this in now, and I'll give myself a start on that, and then we'll all be good.